Giulio Andreotti, A Brief Astrological Portrait by Ciro Discepolo. Is Giulio Andreotti a classic or a compensated Capricorn? Well, for a man who coined the motto, "Power wears out those who do not have it," I would say he can only be a classic Capricorn. And after all, has he ever hidden his ambition? Furthermore, is ambition perhaps a negative value? Personally, I believe it is an essential vitamin for life. Regarding longevity, our subject also said, "Death is a practice that we should archive as late as possible." In fact, precisely by virtue of his Capricorn values, he is an evergreen plant. So much so that recently, a few months ago, I'm writing in August 2006, he was nominated again to lead the Senate, and he readily accepted the candidacy. Let us not forget some significant facts about him. Before he became a senator for life, he obtained in practically every election cycle the maximum number of votes a single politician could achieve in Italy. In this, perhaps, there was also the merit of a very strong second case, photogenicity. That Jupiter in the seventh case, besides signifying powerful alliances, even understood as relations with foreign countries, when he was several times foreign minister in center-left governments during the First Republic, also indicated to us the lawsuits and trials that saw him before the defendant's bench. I do not believe there are other authors in astrology who have theorized this relationship in the past. One notes when want. In this regard, allow me to quote a few lines published on my website. An Emilian lady who has followed me for a long time regarding aimed solar returns, RSM, called me a few days ago asking for enlightenment. An astrologer from here, she tells me, claims that she uses a method different from yours and follows Volgine's school, which theorizes that the solar return chart should be erected for the place of birth and not the place of the birthday. It wouldn't be worth reporting the answer I gave to this lady publicly, were it not for the fact that lately I've been hearing the same thing several times. "Dear lady," I replied, "given that everyone is free to follow the school they prefer, and that, thank God, everyone has a head to think and understand what is right or wrong according to their own judgment, the fact remains, however, that certain people suffering from suspicious amnesia cannot misrepresent and falsify reality. Volgine, who certainly had a very different vision from mine regarding solar returns, and I am happily content with that, thought exactly like me concerning the place where the return chart should be erected. Let us read from his only book on this subject, page 22 in the June 1972 edition. Before beginning the exposition of the technique for interpreting solar returns, the subject of the following chapters, we must draw the attention of astrologers to the necessity of casting annual charts, not for the place of birth, but for the place where the subject is located at the moment of their anniversary, written in bold in the original editor's note. And since we are on the subject, I must note with pleasure that in some places here in Italy, where they fought me all my life regarding aimed solar returns, calling me a visionary and stating in every publication that the return chart must be domiciled for the place of birth and not for the birthday, they woke up one morning and without any public recantation suddenly made a 180-degree turn on the subject. They even went so far as to offer, as a Christmas gift for their subscribers, a technical mini-support that will be an indispensable aid for tracing and indicating the most favorable locations in which to spend one's birthday, with the aim of capturing the best stars, the safest ascendant, ASC, and the least insidious configurations. Historians of Italian astrology in this century are invited to take note, especially regarding the date, December 1999, of this sudden conversion on the road to Damascus. Uncle Ciro P.S. The same applies to the many raptors of the web and the printed press who pretend to forget everything, from who first wrote that an RS ascendant in the first radix house is usually extremely harmful, to the question of Jupiter in the seventh, to the bestable relay effect of the same planet in some cases, and so on for hundreds and hundreds of items. Sometimes it even happens that some, after attacking me for a lifetime on these positions, start pretending from one fine day onwards to interpret current events using these rules of mine, but always and only following those suspicious amnesias and lack of recantations, trying to pass off these small great truths as if they had conceived them themselves. Fortunately, books are also kept in public libraries and have birth dates for any future historians of astrology. Therefore, this small plethora of Mr. Nobodies will only be able to perform such tricks for an audience as poorly informed as they are. Posted on several internet forums on December 22nd, 1999, and later published in the book L'interpretazione del tema natale by Ciro Discepolo,